Hello and welcome to GPTV on Monday the 31st of October. My name is Gary Peer.
I'm Leon Guzenfitter.
And I'm Aviv Samuel.
And very nice to have you gentlemen on the panel. And there is a reason that you're here, and that's because you are both finalists in the REIV 2016 awards. So congratulations on your finalist status. We're not going to announce the awards just this minute, but let's just talk about what category you were the finalist in, Leon.
So I was a finalist in the category of Salesperson of the Year, non-director or non-principal.
Yep.
So it's my third time I've been nominated, so it's very exciting.
Tell us about last year.
Last year was good. There were 5 finalists.
Yep.
Adam and I were there, both of them, and they announced the awards and said there was a split decision.
Dead heat.
And they announced Adam first, which I was excited about, and was very nervous to see who the second winner was, and luckily enough it was me. So we split it last year, and it was, I think, great for both of us.
Excellent, sure was. And this year we've also had Aviv as a finalist. What was the category?
Young Outstanding Agent of the Year.
And now you were a finalist in that as well.
That's right.
Last year?
Last year and this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just to put some perspective, there's tens of thousands of real estate agents in Victoria. So these two gentlemen on either side of me have both done incredibly well. They unfortunately didn't win, but we still decided to bring them in because it's just fantastic to be in the final field of, I think, 3 and 3. So that's just outstanding. It's great to be nominated. But there is some more good news to share. And I think on that note, why don't we just show the reel footage that Visual Domain, who do our video and have for 5 or 6 years, have made. Let's just show the reel of highlights from the REIV Awards from last week. Well, what a great thrill. So certainly great to be named as Melbourne's #1 large residential agent. And I suppose it's a bit like the Brownlows, isn't it? Or the Logies, or the grand final, isn't it, I guess, Leon and Aviv? Yeah. It's a great thrill. And when that award's announced and the whole team get up, and we do have a bit of a presence there that evening, I don't mind saying, it is an amazing thrill. So I guess Leon mentioned to me earlier, it's not the Brownlow.
Did win the Brownlow.
But
I did win the Brownlow. And Aviv did win the Rising Star nomination, but we won the big one, the Premiership. So exactly, I think that's what we all play for. And
the Cup.
That's for sure, the Cup or the Premiership, and as they all say in the Brownlow, don't they? As long as we win the grand final, we're all part of the winning team, and for us it's so special because it gets to recognise everybody, we really do have over 100 people now and a great team. So well done to our team. It's a very proud moment, very exciting. Philip, of course, still hungover, couldn't recover in time to be here today, but we have thoughts of him, in bed with a hard head, still after partying. Not so, he's actually away, but anyway, it's a good story. So let's talk a little bit about, while I've got you two gentlemen on the couch, you've been on the Carnegie Report, first time on GPTV. Good to have you here. Leon's been on before, an occasional presenter. Let's talk about firstly what's happening with Team Leon in the office.
Yeah, well, as most people know, there's 4 of us now. There's Ben, who's been with me for well over 4.5 years now, and a very capable agent.
Yes, you'd like to think so.
Yeah,
I think we'd agree.
Absolutely. And Jared Martin's been on board for 2.5 years, and that seems to have just flown very quickly. And really doing really well. And I think not too long till he's out on his own, doing great things as an agent. And Stephanie Karasavides keeps us all together, looks after all the admin stuff and stuff that I'm not so great at, and I know Ben's terrible at, and Jared isn't great at either. And she does all the stuff that we kind of muck up. She keeps it gelled very well.
And I think a lot of viewers, from looking the outside in, and I remember selling a house a few years ago for a mate of mine. He said, you rock up, you do a few opens, you do an auction, you get paid this incredible amount. They really don't know. And I actually listed the A to Z of what an estate agent does for a client and in terms of a transaction. And it really is an unbelievably extensive list. And so just talking about your team, what would be the role, for example, of Jared and Ben? What do they do?
So Ben and Jared assist at open for inspections, is their primary role. I'm very.
So a cynic would say, well, that's half an hour, big deal.
Yeah, there's a lot more that goes into it, Gary. For example, if you have a large house, you can't have one person on the door taking names and answering questions adequately. So usually we have a setup where, let's say, Jared would be standing on the door, taking everybody's names. I'd be in the house, knowing the house a little bit more intimately, answering questions. On bigger homes, and we're very lucky that my team gets to handle a lot of sizable family homes. We often have 3 of us because if there's 10 or 20 groups through in a half an hour, there's lots of questions to ask, and having 2 agents inside, I think helping the buyers with their questions is important, and obviously Jared or Ben at the front, whoever's taking the names on that occasion, answering some of the initial inquiries at the door.
That's the open. What about through the week? There's another 5 days.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if most good family homes attract 20, maybe 30, sometimes 50 people through on a weekend, and we have a rule, as you know, the number 1 rule in our company, that everybody gets called back.
Has to,
Even including the people that say, I'm not buying and I'm kicking tyres, we still call them back because they'll be doing something soon. And it does take a long time to call 30, 40, 50 people, answer their questions, and really find out the information that we need to base our decisions whether those people are going to be real buyers or are just kicking some tyres at the time.
And that's not including the negotiating, the sending of contracts, the showing builders through, the showing buyers on other times through. There's just an incredible list, proofing all the ads, checking everything's correct, making sure the vendor's advised of everything, having the pre-auction meeting. I mean, there's an amazing amount that goes into it. So given you handle a lot of volume, and of course Steph ties everything, all the admin pieces together, doesn't she? Let's move on to you, Viv. You've moved to Carnegie. Tell us, you've been part of the Carnegie buzz, a big part of the success. You've been there now for 18 months.
That's right.
What's it like being in the Carnegie office? It looks pretty good, that office.
I tell you what, it's something special, and it's great to be in a great shopping strip, a lot of life. It's nice to walk down the street and see friends and clients, and great to catch up with family, even to have a cup of coffee, and from time to time try to organise a catch up with my wife because I'm so busy with work. It's hard to catch up with her.
You have to make an appointment, don't you? Tell me, you've got a lovely young lady who's by your side of the office. Sasha, tell us a bit about what she does.
Sasha's great. She's my executive assistant, as we call it, and her role specifically is to focus on setting up the campaigns for me, and pretty much what I like to do is sort of delegate all my non-dollar productive activity to her and get her to focus on setting it all up, and she does an absolutely amazing job. But constantly setting files up and meeting photographers, doing building inspections, preparing the files for the weekends. And just she's been great. She's been with me since January this year.
Fantastic. Yeah. Does a great job, that's for sure.
That's right.
Terrific addition to the team.
That's right.
So now we've got you both here, some different voices, because I think people are sick of hearing from me and Phil all the time. I would have thought anyway. I'm certainly sick of listening to our own drivel. But tell us a bit about what's happening in the market. I mean, you sell like Leon and like all of us on all areas.
That's right.
And that's one of the unique things about our office and our setup. We're not structured in even though we specialise in areas, we're all across the board. We're able to work everywhere. Sure. Tell us about what's going on in the Carnegie market at the moment. What's hot? What's going on?
Well, I can tell you the Carnegie market there's not much on the market at the moment, to be honest with you, and wish we had more stock. There's a few apartments around and a bit of construction taking place at the moment, but house and land at the moment in Carnegie, it is going gangbusters at the moment. And I can tell you, just out and about, for example, we had a property that started on the weekend at 22 Litson Street in Murrumbeena. And we had, 31 on Saturday and almost 40 on Sunday, just to give you an idea.
That's an incredible number. That's phenomenal. 70 groups of people, that's like 120 if people come in 2s and 3s, whatever. That's between 120, 140 people. That's amazing. That'll be an interesting auction to watch. We'll have to review that one shortly. So properties are hot, stock levels are low.
And buyers are out there. There's a lot of buyers in the marketplace, especially a lot of people are frustrated a bit with the auction process, so they're approaching us and asking us whether we have some stock that's possibly coming up that hasn't been advertised. They'd love to get through off-market listings.
And we do sell for you off-market
that's
too.
Right.
So if you're wanting to sell off-market, keep us in mind. Leon, what do you find in the hot spots? I know that you're a bit of an area specialist also. You've got a bit of a niche. You want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, we certainly look very lucky to look after a lot of properties in Caulfield South, in Caulfield and Caulfield North, but probably south of Glen Huntly Road is where I do a lot of my work, and really creeping in a lot into Brighton East and getting a lot of 3187 business. We've had a lot of success there.
Some great success. A few weeks ago, I think there was only one auction that was sold in Brighton East, and it was ours.
It was ours.
It's an area that you've sort of moved towards. What are people loving about Brighton East, which is a great segue to where we are, by the way, but what are people loving about it?
Well, I think it's just being Bayside, being close to the beach. I'm finding that I meet a lot of buyers who cross North Road very easily. So people who are looking in South Caulfield and Elstonwick, I'm seeing them at open for inspections in Brighton East, and vice versa. People I'm seeing in Brighton East are coming over North Road. And there's obviously a great inspiration to cross Nepean Highway way too for people who are maybe based in non-beachside Brighton East previously, and the next inspiration is just to get a little bit closer to the beach, a little bit closer to Church Street. So we're finding that market's also moving quite well.
It's interesting, isn't it? There's always been a correlation of course, Brighton and Brighton East buyers, but I think it could even be more attractive for Caulfield South buyers to buy in Brighton East, and sometimes we're seeing that it's certainly a terrific suburb and there's a great pollination. So we're finding that umbrella has spread, hasn't it? So we've got Caulfield South, Ellesmere, Brighton East, East St Kilda all starting to become in very much the same sort of zone and perception from buyers out there. So I guess we should talk about where we are, because it's a beautiful segue. And wow is the word, because we've all been wowed today. We walked into this home and that Philip's kind of kept all to himself and he's been a little bit greedy keeping on to this one, but he's let it go now. We're in week 2 of the campaign. We're at 23 Camperdown Street in East Brighton. What an incredible house this is. Were you blown away when you saw this?
I just couldn't believe how big it was. You know, when Darren's been talking about it, we've seen the floor plan, seen the photos. He said, it's a big townhouse, but it doesn't feel like a townhouse. It's a house. It's huge.
There's nothing townhouse about it. It's almost a misdescription, isn't it? Because it's bigger than many of the most luxurious family homes that you'll see out there. An amazing amount of accommodation. But how about the living areas, entertaining areas, and what about downstairs? What did you think about that, Aviv? Were you knocked out like I was?
My first impression was when I walked in, I was very impressed. The fittings is amazing, and the amount of natural light, even though we're on the north side.
Absolutely.
The pool, and just it's very well presented, I must say.
In some ways, you're blessed if you've got a north-facing back garden and orientation.
5% of the market.
Well, that's exactly true, but you are blessed to get that, you're right, because of course you've got the orientation towards light, but it's also the design here. There's so many skylights and so many big windows. It really is a unique property. So the details are on the screen now, but come and have a look at this one, 23 Camperdown Street. The team of Darren Krongold, Sally Zellman, Judy Zhu, and Daniel Fisher and Adam Pakel, that big team that sells so many of the best homes in the marketplace, been involved here. So that's one you're going to enjoy seeing through. And if you want a private viewing, give us a call. We'd be happy to show you. We've got some auctions to review that are coming up this weekend. I think we're about 18. So how about the block? Let's have a little chat about that, because we were open there, had our grand opening yesterday. Some 30,000 people. Were you aware of that, Aviv?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was talking to a few of my work colleagues yesterday and they said it was a large team there, but by the end of the day, they were all exhausted.
I mean, we're used to serve, a busy open inspection is 20 or 30 people. How about 30,000 people coming through? That was just incredible. And it's been so exciting. Have you been keeping up with the block as well?
I've been watching Jeremy's progress there, and I think he'd probably say that it was about 10,000 people for the block and 20,000 for his birthday. It was his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Jeremy.
Well, congratulations. Happy birthday to Jeremy.
Can you say the number? Is he going to be...
he's not going to be offended. The big 40.
Wow.
40's the new 30. So well done to Jeremy Roses, who is enjoying a great milestone and a great year too. Because not only, by the way, did we win the large agency, but we also won for this best small agency. So congratulations, and the small agency being St Kilda, which Jeremy Roses is at the helm of. So congratulations to Jeremy. No doubt. I don't know if he's at work today, but
he just cleans up those awards every year.
He does.
Personally, it's his office.
Exactly right. So, back to back. But he did say to me both years, he said, if I could win anything, I'd love it to be for the whole office, because again, the people that put in there is incredible as well. This weekend, 18 auctions, gentlemen. Both of you know some of these properties. Some of you might, either of you might know all of them. Shall we go into review and talk about some of them? We've got 18 auctions this weekend, gentlemen. A busy one for us. Not overly busy, because we can handle probably between 25 and 30, okay? So room for more, but 18's a good weekend over a variety of suburbs. We start off in Brighton, in Bay Street, Brighton. Jeremy Rosens is going to be auctioning this property. Adam Joskey's been handling it. Now, this is a terrific looking unit, this one. A fantastic looking apartment. It's got 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 parking space, and of course Bay Street. What a great position. We love it down there. All of the shops, all of the cafes, and of course you've got a wonderful cinema there as well, and the train. So a great location. That one's coming up at 10:30. We move on to Inkerman Street now. Aviv, your brother Leo has been involved in this one. 5 at 296 Inkerman Street in St Kilda East. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. I think it's a 1960s solid brick apartment, which is in a great position of St Kilda East, right between Alexandra and Hotham Street. This apartment is situated at the back, big wraparound sort of deck courtyard area, if you want to call it that, with north facing, a lot of natural light, sort of 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car spot. Definitely worth inspecting if you're around on Saturday morning.
Absolutely. We have triple auction action at 11:30am. We're starting off in Goulay Street, just around the corner, and this is a great property too. Very, very interesting looking town residence. And we're looking forward to auctioning this one. 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, also 2 parking spaces. Looks like it's got some great outdoor area and looks very edgy and modern. Gourlay Street, of course, we know is a great address, situated very, very close to Hotham Street, and all of the buzz of Carlisle Street and the Ripponlea Village. It's all happening there. How many cafes are in Ripponlea Village now? We've got world famous Attica restaurant there, but we've got plenty of great cafes as well. Leon, 42 more streets of home that you've been involved with. I know it's your pleasure to introduce this one to the market. Tell us a bit about this one. It looks like a pretty substantial home.
It is a good home, and it just what it is a really good family home, and we've had a really good response to it. Had a number of families go back a second and third time, so I think we're going to have a hot auction there.
Fantastic.
But it's just a beautiful house. It's got as many as 5 bedrooms, but it can be a little bit more flexible if you don't need that many, and provide you with some more living areas. But it's been popular. We're looking forward to it, and I think a good results there. We had a lot of interest in excess of that $1.5 million range.
Very good. Well, I'm looking forward to joining forces with you there because I've got the auction honours of that one. But you will not be there because you're going to be somewhere else. You're going to be in Oakdean Crescent in Carnegie with your brother Leo.
That's right.
And this is a great looking property. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. I've actually been quite lucky to be standing on this property. It's actually been in the same hands of these owners for about 10 years or so now. It's great property, 3 bedrooms. It's very spacious. They've recently renovated the kitchen and the living room. It's got an amazing north-facing courtyard as well. Definitely worth coming to have a look at it if you're around on the weekend as well. Highly recommend it.
Excellent. That is a wrap for our 11:30 auctions. We have further triple auction action at 12:30 p.m. It starts off in Inkerman Street. Michael Jonas is auctioning, or I should say, he's bringing this great property to the market. Jeremy Rose's auctions. What a great looking property this is. It's got a fantastic, we're calling it a super-sized courtyard made for partying. Well, partying is an option there. It's not a necessity, but you might want to because certainly you've got the space to do it. Also some great living areas. We're looking forward to that one at 12:30 p.m. You won't be able to be there, Leon, because I think you're going to probably, well, you might join us because Joel's going to be involved in, or he has been involved in handling this one. I'm going to be auctioning this property, Ludbrook Avenue, one of your favourite addresses. I know you've sold lots there.
It is.
Take us through this particular one.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success in that street over the years, and I believe that's where it all started for you guys. You always remind me about Ludbrook Avenue.
It did. Well, that's right. One of the popular ways of getting business in our industry is to knock on doors, which I only ever did once, but when I did do it, I actually listed a property in Ludbrook Avenue, so it's a good story often told repetitively in our sales meetings. Take us through this great unit.
Yeah, this one's a beauty. It's front one of only 2, and I think in the last 6 months, if I've seen any property really accelerate in its price value, are these single level 1 or 2 units, because they are coming with their own land component. And this one has been really lavishly renovated, in excellent order. And Joel's been telling me it's been pretty popular, so it should be a good auction. But 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a garage, and nothing to do, move straight in. It's a ripper.
Fantastic. Looking forward to that one. At the same time as that auction, that's going to all be happening in Carnegie. You'll be joining, no doubt, with Daniel Rees and Leor and the Carnegie team in Nearham Road. This is a unique looking property. Take us through this one, please.
Yeah, this one is actually quite nice too. It's a split level residence, a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 1 car spot. This is actually a great block. This is what the 3rd transaction we've got coming up in the last 3 months there. It's been really hot block. The neighbours are really lovely and the owners are very nice as well, and it should do well on the weekend. Yeah.
Jeremy Rosens brings the curtain down at 1:30 in Gardenvale Road. This is a great looking property. Jeremy Rosens is going to be a busy boy on Saturday, auctioning 4 properties. He won't be much fun on Saturday night as he falls asleep on the couch, but he'll be enjoying handling this property, or at least auctioning it. Now you're familiar with it. Tell us a little bit about it, Leon.
Yeah, it's a very neat villa unit with 3 bedrooms and 2 off-street car spaces, which are very hard to find. And a great little position there in Gardenvale Road. Just walk up the street, get to Martin Street, get to Gardenvale Station, and have a coffee beforehand at one of the many shops. But the property itself, very spacious villa. And yeah, it's very hard to find with up to 3 bedrooms. So
talking about great strips, Martin Street's really come alive, hasn't it?
It's
terrific
unbelievable.
Cafes there. It was a sleeper for many years, but it's really hit its straps now. So that's a great property, and I know that Adam's enjoyed working on it. Let's talk about Sunday's auctions again. 9. We kick off with the solo 10:30 auction. Jeremy Rosen is going to be doing this one in Lansdowne Road. We're looking forward to bringing that one to the market at 10:30. Have you got it there?
Yeah, I've got it here. It's a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car park. Great apartment too. It's got 2 good size bedrooms and good. I love these older style apartments with the sort of living meals, quite large living meals area and the separate kitchen. yeah, it's definitely my favourite era of that sort of 60s, 70s.
We were talking in the sales meeting last week about what is really in fashion, and I think people now, especially with some of the new stuff built that's not so spacious and solid and hasn't got great natural light, it's all of those established apartments in the 70s when builders just took that bit of extra care that are really back in vogue, isn't it? So we're enjoying selling those. Now Jeremy Rosen's only has to go around the corner at 11:30. He's going to be auctioning 8 at 3 Hewington Road. Now this is a fantastic looking apartment again. They don't build them like this anymore. This one's got a terrific floor plan, 2 good sized bedrooms, a very, very spacious living area opening to a great sized balcony, and of course it's got fantastic car space as well, and parking of course getting harder and harder to get as we get busier and busier with traffic. At 11:30 we're in 25 Larch Street in Caulfield, South Leon. Take us through this one. It's a great one.
And it's a really good house. Yep. It's about 29 years old. It's in really good, neat order, so it's perfect just to move straight in and enjoy. But I love it. There's a little bit left to do if you do want to modernise it.
Yes.
It's as many as 5 bedrooms with a double lock-up garage. There's en-suites off the main bedroom. There's a downstairs toilet as well. So everything's in the right spot. And I would still say that's an affordable house to buy in Caulfield South on its own block on a good established piece of land with a north-facing yard and a minute walk to the corner of Glen Huntley Road and Hawthorne Road, where all the shops, cafes and transport options are.
Nice wrap, Leon. I agree with everything you've said there. We move on to Alexander Street. Viv, you've got control of the brochure here. Indeed. Take us through this terrific property, Jeremy Rosen's auctions. That's his 7th this weekend. He's going to be a barrel of fun on Sunday night too.
I'm sure he'll be in bed by, as you said, by 8 o'clock, maybe even 7:30.
He's nearly 92. It's now he's in his 40s. Take us through this one.
Sure. 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car park apartment. Going back to those older style apartments, if you just have a look at this floor plan, it's big living dining area, 3 bedrooms, separate kitchen, really good position as well, not far from Carlisle Street. It's about a 5-10 minute walk, but good position and definitely worth looking at if you're available.
One of our most prestigious listings hits the market on Sunday. That's 7 Keverall Road in Caulfield North. We're really looking forward to handling this one. Adam Josky has been involved, I should say, in handling it. We're looking forward to auctioning it. Philip brings this one to the market. That's going to be at 12:30. Keverall Road is home now to some of the best houses in Caulfield North. It's a little known street, but certainly it is kind of a bit of a millionaire's road. There are some phenomenal homes right opposite that incredible old house years ago, that mansion that is still there, but was also subdivided. Adam's bringing this one to the market with Philip auctioning, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a big pool, big land, big luxury and exciting property. We're looking forward to that one. We move on at 1:30 to 1 at 66A, Balaclava Road, right in the heart of Caulfield North. Leon, we've already sold in this building before. It's an incredible building, an incredible apartment, and you just don't see them like that out there. If you're looking for something super spacious and opulent and luxurious, this is going to be as good as it gets in Caulfield North, I would have thought.
Absolutely. This is the ground floor, Gary, of a boutique block of only 3 ultra luxurious apartments.
Edgy, modern, stylish, swish.
Yeah.
How's the floor plan? How's the space here?
It's sensational. It's got a massive outside area for an apartment. It's got a great terrace. It's got its own private entry out of the rear. And it has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 2 car spaces as well, which is important to find. And in a really hot part of the world as well, near the corner of Orong and Balaclava Road, so easy to get to Carlisle Street, and a very exclusive building, this one, Gary, and hopefully it goes well.
Looking forward to it. At 2:30, I'm going to be at the auction at Glenora Road, 441. Been very involved in the sale of this property. I happen to have known the vendors forever, and we're very excited to bring this one to the market, and it is the first time it's been brought to the market in, look, it could be 40 or 50 years, I'm not quite sure, but it would have to be at least or around that long, I would have thought. This is a fantastic period home. It's been very, very nicely kept. The owners have decided to let people go and do their own thing with it. So some people want to modernise, some people have a budget and just want to move in, and other people are looking at developing it. Of course, they would be making their own inquiries with council, but it's on the right side of the street. Again, north-facing back garden and a beautiful parcel of land to go with it. That's been pretty popular as well. We move on to Lansdowne Road, and we're back in Lansdowne Road, I should say. So how about that? Twice in Lansdowne, once in Hewington, all that little block. Very convenient. Yeah. Thanks to the vendors for making it so easy for us. This one goes at 3:30 p.m. A terrific block of land. Looks like there's a substantial, although dated house, Leon. 4 bedrooms there.
It does. And I think the real value here is in the permit that there is for 8 apartments.
Yep.
And I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard that it's not able to be taken again, or that permit's able to be obtained again. Yes. So I think they've changed some recent rules.
Is that right?
So it's a very unique opportunity, and as most of the developments now allowed to be on the main road, it's very hard, because I know the buyers are seeking apartments in quiet side streets like Lansdowne Road.
Yes.
So it's an opportunity for a builder developer to come in and create something which will be popular at the resale end.
Sure.
Sounds good, and a great location. No question, if you create something beautiful there, you'll be selling them pretty well and quickly, I would have thought. We bring down the curtain Sunday at 4:30 in Lumia Road. Now, this is an incredible property, great parcel of land, some 655 square metres. Again, on the right side of the street, I'd have to say, because you get all that afternoon sun through the back garden, west-facing back garden, but that is a terrific opportunity to build your own new home. If you want to go in there and renovate it, you're welcome to. If you want to live there, you can as well. But certainly, talking about the Golden Mile in Caulfield North in Lumia Road, one of the very best and most renowned streets in the area. So that's a wrap of our weekend. 18 auctions. If you want to sell this year, do we still have time to get on the market?
We do.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, we're still booking auctions now for
We
early
are, aren't we?
December.
We
We're
are.
doing some twilight auctions as well that we've booked in on Thursday evenings at 6
Absolutely.
p.m.
We love a twilight auction, don't we? Always good fun, and of course a lot of people getting involved in the planning process for 2017. Predictions for 2017, how do you think the market's going to work?
I think it's going to be strong. I think, look, as I mentioned, a lot of buyers are out there still looking around for stock. Unfortunately, there isn't much stock on the market, so I think they'll be sort of keen to eager to get in sort of February, early March 2017. I think it will be a strong start to the year.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be strong. And what gives me the most confidence is a lot of our auctions have 4 or 5 or 6 bidders, so 3 or 4 or 5 people are missing out.
Depth of bidding.
Yeah, which means that, they've got to all find something.
That's true.
And then when they find something, they probably have to sell their house, so there's going to be an opportunity for someone to buy that. So I think that it'll be much of a muchness, and I think it'll continue to just grow steadily. And I certainly don't see any edge of the cliff as some negative people are predicting. They've been predicting it for a long time.
Those negative people cost themselves and their listeners a lot of money over the years talking about prices coming down, because they haven't been coming down, that's for sure, not over the last number of years. It doesn't feel to me like it's going to either. I agree with you both. The depth of bidding looks like there's plenty of people keen to buy. Interest rates are low, so get into the market and of course get into the races, because tomorrow we've got the Melbourne Cup. Your tip?
I like 2. I like Oceanographer as my number 1 pick, but as my sort of dark horse or Smoky, I think our Ivanhoe can come up at the odds.
Lee Friedman. So you're giving back the viewers their money back if they lose?
Oh, yeah.
And yourself, Leon, any idea? He's a punter, but this one, not so much.
I did hold the bag for bookies about 10 years ago at the whole carnival. I was right into it then. I have absolutely no idea, but I would say, is Prince of Penzance, is it coming back? Is it? No?
You know what? It's a great tip. It's just a year too old. If we would have got you on last year before the Cup, you would give us
I knew the owners of that last year.
Very good. That's useful now, a year later.
And all week he was putting on social media, have a few dollars on that. And of course I backed about 6 horses, not that one. And I think all the guys at Ormond Football Club had a 5 and 10 each way on it, and had a few drinks to celebrate at the end of the day.
So
is it running this year?
No, it's not. It's out. And neither is the jockey.
What's your tip, Gary?
Well, I'm with you. I think Oceanographer is a great chance. I'd like to run on Saturday, but I'm very, very good at tipping losers. So if you want to, and basically that Penzance wiped me out last year. I just want to share that with the viewers. But it's all happening. It's a great time of year. We're in spring. We've got the block. Congratulations to everyone in our team. We're very proud of our team for winning that award. It's really a great thrill. We did win a 3rd award as well, and we were finalists in 11 categories. So we won a 3rd award, the Communication Award, and that's for GPTV. So thanks for viewing, tuning in. Thank you, Leon. Thanks, Viv. We're looking forward to seeing out the rest of spring and sharing all the good real estate news and any other news that's happening in the world of real estate. Thank you. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Leon Guzenfitter.
And I'm Aviv Samuel.
Bye now.